each other's crown. The queens wind down. Hey, hey. Me and my girls winding down. Talking this and that while we're fixing each other's crown.
And what's up, everybody? It is your leading lady, Tyra Hill, and welcome to the season finale of the Queens Wind Down. Thank you for such a dope season. I'm telling you, this season has been off the chain. I've had phenomenal guests. Yes, all season long. Dope guests, dope conversation. My fans have been absolutely amazing. Thank you to everyone who shared. Thank you to everyone who commented. And tonight, baby, it is the season finale of season 4. I cannot believe I've been on for 4 seasons. But anywho, I am excited tonight. Your girl is popping bottles all night. I know it's the Queen's Wind Down, but the Kings are joining the conversation on tonight. And I have some dope guests for this final conversation of the season. And we're calling it the Royal Conversation. Y'all know how I feel about my sister girls, which are my queens. Y'all know how I feel about my brothers, which are the kings. So I thought it would only be befitting to bring both parties to the table so that we could have a real, open, honest, and transparent conversation about everything that you guys deal with every day in life. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about divorce. I'm talking about marriage. I'm talking about faith, finances, dating. We're talking about it all tonight. So let's jump into it because we got a lot of guests. And let me start introducing my guest on tonight for the season finale of the Queen's Wind Down. Starting off would be my girl. She's been on the Queen's Wind Down before. She's not a stranger to the fans. Cynthia Collins, also known as Kiki. Welcome to the Queen's Wind Down season finale, Queen.
Hello, hello, hello.
Next to Kiki is none other than my brother from another mother. He's by way of Flint, Michigan, Fly City. He goes by the name of Wayne the Barber. Hey, Wayne.
What's up, Will? How y'all doing out there?
We good. Up at the top. And I don't know which way I want to go. Because both of them handsome. Both of them got shiny heads. Let me go towards Shine. I'll say Derek for last. He is the dopest, one of the dopest barbers in Baltimore, Maryland. He's Hill's barber. He cuts Bryson's hair, all the kings in my family hair. He goes by the name of Sean Johnson. But on Instagram, you can find him at Cuts by Sean. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how y'all doing?
That's what's up. Then, to my other side, y'all know him. He rocked out with me on the Tyra Hill Show. He is by far the dopest co-host any female could have. He gives you a male's perspective. And honey, guess what? Tonight, he's joining the conversation as my co-host. He goes by the name of Derek Marcano. Hey, Debo. Unmute your mic.
All right.
Okay,
hey, Tyra. Cheers.
Last but not least, all hail the queen, Karen Ross. Karen is my OG. She has been a part of my village and tribe since I was a little girl. So it's only right that we pull an OG into the conversation. Who's going to give it to us straight up with no chaser? Welcome, Karen.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody.
So listen, I am so excited about this conversation. So we're just going to jump into it. And let the record show Tyra Hill doesn't have notes on tonight.
What?
No notes, no topics. We're just going to flow. And she's popping champs. She's drinking champagne, so we can either go either way. First topic of the conversation. Word on the street is that there seems to be misunderstanding between women, the queens and the kings when it comes to dating, right? I have a lot of single girlfriends, right? And even on social media, you will see the memes, and the different memes will say, do you think a woman should go half with a man on a date? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I want to start with Derek because Derek always got something to say. Derek,
Yes.
do you think that women should go half on dates?
Well, it really, to me, it really depends on who initiates the date, right? It depends on who really initiates. And I'm saying that from not only from not really my perspective, but a millennial's perspective, right? Old school, a man always pays for the date, regardless, right? Like her, don't make a difference. A man pays. But in today's society, where women are trying to be more independent and a lot more outgoing, let's say, if a woman comes to a man and asks him out or invites him out, then we should go Dutch. And in that perspective, for millennials, right? I'm just talking for millennials. Old school, the man pays for the date, regardless. Don't like you. You know, it is what it is. You know, you just bite the bullet.
Kiki, I see you laughing. What you got to say, Queen? Chime on in.
No, I'm agreeing, but I like how you keep on trying to say. But no, I don't mind paying for a date. The it doesn't matter who asks who. I don't even mess with stuff like that. Like, oh, I asked you out, so I don't like for it to get so technical like that. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter,
Right,
To me,
right.
it shouldn't matter. So if you pay for it, all right. Would you like for me to leave the tip? If you pay, thank you. But I never really try to go out with anyone without having my own money.
That's right.
Shine, you up there shaking your head. What you got to say?
Most of the time, I pay for it, and females, they usually leave a tip or something. But that don't really matter to me. Like my man said, if you don't like them, still pay for it.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We just
Mm-hmm.
won't go out again, but it's all
Exactly.
good. It
Well,
is.
Cost
let
that
me
much to get
ask
rid of.
Wayne the barber because Wayne, everybody come through the barbershop and sit in your chair. You got married kings, you got single kings, and you just got straight up hoes.
Mm.
Yep.
When you hear this type of conversation in the barbershop, what are your thoughts? Because you're married. So
Mhm.
what are your thoughts when you hear women or men saying they have to want to go half on dates, or and women saying I'm not going half on no date?
Well, from my experience with different clients, men and women, I would say right now, more women is taking lead when it comes to any type of dating relationship. For some odd reason, like Derek said, I'm old school. If I take you on a date, well, it'd be my wife. But if I wasn't married, we pay for we gonna take you out. We gonna pay for it. Now, if she insists and she continue to assist, like no, 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 let me get this one this time. Then I'm totally fine with that. But I'm old school. I'm gonna pay for uh, the dates. I'm gonna open your door. I'm gonna do all that old school stuff that we was taught when we was younger, or picked up along the way. Because I wasn't taught. I had to watch other men and learn and be like, oh, that's how you do it. Okay, that's how you do it. I ain't had no one to show me those type of things. And
Well,
on the
see,
flip side,
and I guess the old me,
okay.
the younger Tyra Lee, not Tyra
Mhm.
Hill. I was always, I ain't paying. But the older I've become, I understand that it's nothing wrong with a queen loving on her king.
Mhm.
And it's nothing wrong with taking your man out to dinner. And it's nothing wrong with gifting your man a gift. Now, I understand about chivalry and I understand old school because I'm just a couple of years shy of 50, right? So I
Okay.
kind of been in the game for a minute, right? However, I think if your man or your woman, your queen or your king, is always showing you love, whether it's lunch, baby, let's go have breakfast, baby, let's go have dinner, baby, let's go away for a quick weekend getaway. I think it's a two-way street. You can't always be the taker. Sometimes you have to be the giver. Karen, what do you
Well,
think?
I'm gonna
Because
put my
I
two
know
cents in it
you
because I ain't
always
never paid
screaming.
for a
Hold
date.
on, and I love it. I'm a kept woman.
Here it
I'm
come.
a kept woman.
I ain't never paid for a date, and uh, unless I'm in totally in the relationship, and I think that's where a lot of these young women they go wrong. They start paying, they buying dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and I, throw, you know, I like the old school. I like to be wined and dined and taken care of.
See, I
And
like
I
what
do
you said
appreciate it.
though.
But if it's somebody's birthday, yeah, I'm gonna set it up and make sure they good. But just on a dating regular dating, no.
Yeah, but see, you said something.
Buying dudes.
There are women out here who buy they men,
There's a
and
lot of them.
it is some men out here who buy their women. You know, I mean, we call it tricking for men. Should we call it tricking for women?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Why
but
not?
they want a man. They want a man. They not trying to buy just to uh be just to buy for that one time thing. They trying to buy the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
Mm-hmm.
buying no relationship.
Hmm.
So
And so you see that. You see that, and I can only speak for myself or as a woman. You see that within the sisterhood where women are constantly taking care of a man. And since we're talking about that, let's slide up into a conversation that meets this halfway. Not only do you see women kind of taking care of men, we are now in a state where women are out here getting it and hustling just as hard as the kings, some of the kings, not all kings, some
Mhm.
of the kings. If the woman is the breadwinner, and I'm asking the kings this question, if the woman is the breadwinner, is that a way of hitting a man's ego and making him feel less than?
It
Like, do
shouldn't.
you care if your woman make more money than you?
I don't, but I know a lot of dudes. I know a lot of dudes that feel a certain kind of way about that.
They
That
feel like they're being demasculated, Sean.
yeah, they feel a certain kind of way about that. But to me, that's in their own feelings. I get it though, but it's just like one of them things. It's like okay, a woman can make more money, but just like still be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you
right.
still you still let him. You still okay. You might make more money, but you still ain't trying to like know your role. But you still be a woman and still allow him to be a man. Allow him to lead.
And I guess that go ahead, Wayne, because you stuck your head up like you wanted to say. Go ahead,
Yeah,
bro.
I like what Sean just touched on. Real quick, when I met me and my wife, we've been knowing each other a long time through family, and never thought in a million years that we'll cross paths to this point to where we'll be married, right? So it's a backstory to that. But I'm gonna speed this thing up. Um, I was intimidated by her success, but in return, she was looking at me like, I see success in you. Like, we was
Mm-hmm.
just cool, we was friends, and we was doing business and different things like that. She's very business savvy, like she's a very sharp woman. And I'm from the hood. I'm just really learning life, like learning how to speak and talk to people, learning how just relearning life from the things that I was, learned from when I was younger, which was, to survive. And Tyra, I ain't even got to tell you, but that this being hoodwink, you know what I'm saying? You don't know until you really know. So it's like I'm just learning a lot of these things. So she was intimidating to me. Like, no, I need somebody that's making $5 like I'm making. Like you make $100,000. Like, no, I'm straight. You ain't gonna like
Mm-hmm.
me because I ain't making much money. And it come to turn out, now we making probably about the same. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But she never put me down. I gave myself a chance to say I deserve to have someone like this to help me. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So I had to get over that fear. And I want to read this thing I seen on Instagram. It says, in all honesty, women who have their stuff together are a little pushy or very detached, right? And always use school or work as an excuse to be that way. I never knew why. But in studies, historically, a woman naturally desires to be taken care of and protected by a man. Goes back to what Karen was talking about. Um, when that element is gone, a woman starts actually unnaturally acting unnaturally. She starts developing an alpha male complex of her own. She becomes who she desires.
Mhm.
When I seen that, I had to screenshot it and say, "Wow, this is deep."
You had to
You know what I'm
screenshot it and
saying?
bring it to the
Because
round
because,
table.
because if it got a lot of truth to it, what I'm saying, and when a
And I'm
woman,
gonna put my 2 cents in it. The way I
okay,
feel about
I think Karen glitched on us real quick.
and
But
yeah,
men
while
have
we waiting for
schooled
Karen to
me on
unglitch
how to
herself,
approach a man,
I want to say
and
it's
so
in
oh,
the
she's
word that
talking.
everybody
I'm
is kind of dancing
I,
around,
I
and
followed
I'm gonna
the
lay on the
instructions,
table
and I've
Okay.
is
always been taken
submissive.
care of from day one, no matter who relationship I've been in. And not that I'm using the guy or anything like that, but
Man,
Yeah, we done lost Karen.
I know she's talking good too.
Yeah,
Listen, she talking good game too, but
old
when she
school.
comes back in, we'll jump right back into her comment. But
Okay.
I think the word we're all dancing around is the word submissive. And you can, as a woman, as a queen, make more money than your man and still allow for him to be the head. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think society has somehow created this sense of and especially within the black community, because I can
Mhm.
only speak as a black woman, especially within the black community, they have created the stigma of, well, I don't need a man to take care of me, I'm independent, a man can't do nothing for me. And I think what happens there, and hear me when I say, a woman doesn't need a man to complete her.
Mm.
However, when we start saying things like, I don't need a man to complete me, I'm independent. We're kind of giving away a little bit of our feminine side, right? But society will have you thinking that it's okay to be independent. It's nothing wrong with being a strong, intelligent, business minded, sophisticated black woman or woman, whatever you are. However, if you are in a relationship with a man, one thing that Big Mama told me, a man always has to feel like a man.
Mm.
that's
And when
right.
you're making that man feel like a man, make sure that man is taking care of the things he should be taken care of as a man, and as a woman that you're taking care of too. You get what I'm saying? So I
Mm.
think
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like unbalanced within society today, because you have one side of society that's saying, I don't need a man. INEDEE. Do you know what that means? Beyonce. I don't need him. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the other side say, wait a minute, like me. I don't like to pump gas. I
Mm.
can pump gas, but I don't want to pump my own gas. I can take out the trash, but as long as I got a man in my house, I ain't taking out the trash.
And I
It's
don't
just
like to
certain
pay
things that
bills.
Tyra Hill don't want to do as a woman.
That went over her head. That went over her head. I don't like to pay bills.
To everybody else
I
heard
don't like that neither.
We all heard that.
no
I
man.
don't
Hmm.
like that neither. But here's the thing: if
But
my
I make it
man
well
is
worth
having
it
a
though.
problem
There it is.
financially, I got him. But let me say this: I know married people that borrow money from each other.
So do I.
That cracks me up, because I don't know what it's like to call Hill and be like, "Let me borrow $100." I wish I would. I wish I would. And I'm taking care of the household, your kid, well, our kid 30, your grandkids, cooking your food, washing
Fixing
your
the
clothes,
plates.
making sure your bills paid. I ain't stealing your money like other wives do and don't pay the bills. and I'm gonna call you and ask to borrow $100, I cut all your tires.
Mm.
Well,
So yeah,
I'm gonna be devil's advocate right here because this is what I
be
do.
devil's advocate. You just the
That's what
devil
I
anyway. Go
do.
ahead.
So we are in 2021, y'all. We're in 2021. There's a lot of competition out here. Let's be realistic. First of all, money make everybody act differently. Everybody moves differently when they got money in their pocket. Women and men.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. You'll find very few people are true to the game when they get a couple dollars in their pocket. And it doesn't have to be major things. It could be very little subtle things.
Like what?
I'm a female that make more money.
Like what?
I'm wearing red bottom shoes and you wearing Kmart because I'm the one making the money. But I think that's fair. Not me personally. The woman thinks that's fair. That's number one. Number two, we got women out here dating dudes and meeting them in prison and dating them till they come out. The numbers don't add up.
Stupid.
Let's be real. The numbers don't add up anymore. We not in
Married after
1965. We're not. Check the college numbers. 16-1, 17-1 at Howard. Every dude got 17 different opportunities to one. The numbers are not the same. So it's a lot of competition out here. So women got to do what they got to do to compete with other women. If that may be dating other women.
That's what they doing.
And that's what they're doing. So let's be real. We're old school. But this is not an old school conversation. This is a new school conversation. Because we're living in 2021. And that's why these women are out here doing what they do. Taking dudes out on dates and things of this nature. Because they have to. All that. I know one of my sister's friends sat and waited on a dude 12 years in federal prison. He came out, knocked another girl up and left her. Waited 12 years.
See, hold on, Derek, right there. Let me get up in the camera and say this.
Yeah.
Sus, this ain't no for my man type of shit. All right. Let me tell you something. You got to save you before you can save him. You got to love on you before you can love on him. Tyra Hill ain't visiting no prison. She ain't sending no money on no books. We ain't doing no conjugal visits. We just gonna be divorced by the time he gets out.
Well, I know somebody who waited 13 years and they were still
Save
married.
yourself, sis.
And they was together before he went to prison. And he did 13 years and she waited and they still together all the way up till he got killed.
Yeah,
but it depends on the relationship,
situation, the people.
What he locked up for.
It depends on a whole lot.
None of my men could go to jail and we stayed together. That just wasn't my type of height. I ain't gonna even hold y'all up with that. I ain't even gonna front. I ain't even gonna say maybe. It just ain't my type of height.
I like square dudes anyways.
But it don't work for me.
Well,
I like square. So
it all depends how long that money is. That depends how much you wait.
Exactly.
That money long enough you wait.
Exactly. Say it again. So the issue is a certain demographic of female they're getting mixed messages. And these messages coming old school, the man does this, the woman does this. New school, I need to do this, I want to do this. So they're caught in a conundrum as to what to do in regards to keeping a man and holding a man. And it really comes from your upbringing, how you were taught, and what, like she said, make a man's plate. How many women doing that in 2021? How many of them cooking for real in 2021? Still make a man's plate.
Wait a minute now.
Hold up. Scratch.
Wait a minute.
That's you. But I'm telling these new wave women are not cooking.
He said the new wave women.
They're not cooking.
They can make a mean reservation though.
They can make a mean reservation. They can Google some serious nonsense.
Oh man.
Don't get it twisted. So
you're not gonna
they're caught up.
Sister girls.
I mean, let's look at celebrities. Let's take celebrities. Mary J. Blige took care of a dude. Nicki Minaj taking care of a rapist. There's so many of them out there. Go down the line that's taking care of dudes.
They
and
got
that's
a low
what they
self-esteem,
see.
Though. Their self-esteem is has to be way low. Because you don't
Why
never
would that
make
be though?
your
Why would a
husband.
woman that positions self-esteem when every single dude is hollering at her? She can find another executive. She can be an E, find a billionaire. Why are they taking? You know why? Because it's a certain type of dude. Like I tell people, it's what you're attracted to.
Mm.
Like you said, you like a square dude. Some females like hood dudes. That's what they
No,
like.
I did like hood dudes, but I like a square dude to have my life with and be
You like hood money though, right?
uh
So you
and
You
not
like
have to
hood money
worry
though, right?
about
no, she like that hood pound, but she
Yeah.
like that square money. That's what it
Listen,
is.
y'all better get
That's
up
right.
off
That's
Karen
right.
now.
You got it.
I'm listening. I'm just listening. Man, I
Listen,
don't pay no
but
bills.
here's the thing with
Oh
that. When
my
we talk
God.
about Nicki Minaj, first let me say this, because y'all know I'm open, honest, and transparent. All women, at some point in their life, have done the right thing with the wrong man. Period. Point blank.
True.
We've all had the fuck boy. We've all had the clown.
Men
We've
too.
all had the liar. We've all had the cheater. You know, and if you haven't, in Big Mama's voice, just keep living, baby. All right.
Yes.
Mm.
So here's the thing. When you think about the choice that Nicki Minaj made with her son's father and his background and his record, and then you think about Mary J. Blige and with Kendu and how she's paying him alimony, right?
Mm.
We got to get to the root of it and talk about the real shit. What's inside of them that makes them attracted to these type of men? What's broken within them? Because that's what I had to ask myself, because I've been there. You get what I'm saying? Tyra, what's in you that attracted you to XYZ? What made you stay in an abusive relationship? What put you in that? And so I think until we start dealing with the mental issues that we deal with as a people, as a community, individually, we're never going to get to the root of why we keep picking the same type of dude. Cause I like thugs too. I like men who got money. I like a certain lifestyle.
What is there to
But at
like
some
about a
point,
thug?
I had
Let's
to
talk about this.
realize.
Cause she like thugs, you like thugs.
What's a
Kiki,
thug
you like
though?
thugs?
What's a thug? What's a thug?
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Well, let me
She
just
like
say
y'all.
this.
What
I like
makes
bad.
a man a thug?
I like bad boys.
What
With a whole
makes
bunch
him a
of
What's a
bad
bad
boy?
boy?
with
What makes
some
him a bad
talent,
boy?
but who can get hood if he need to.
That could be anybody.
Right.
So I mean, what is this stigma
What's a
about? What is
thug?
this? What is a thug? What is a bad boy? What I mean, it's a lot of dudes out here in suits that can get it in
Well,
now.
wait a minute, because you forget that I know you, and we go way back.
Yeah, you're right.
And so here's the thing. I remember that there used to be a point in your life where
Right.
you was a serial cheater.
Absolutely.
Remember, you admitted that on the Tyra Hill show.
And I still admit that.
Okay. And you was out here getting money.
Sure was.
Driving the Jaguar.
Sure was.
You see what I'm
Come
saying?
Come
You gonna
on.
make him a thug?
So what I'm saying is,
But wait a minute.
somebody
This
could
is what
have
I'm getting
considered
at.
you a roughneck. Somebody could have considered you a street dude or a hood or a thug.
Because let me tell you something. I am the king of code switching. Because I came up in private school. So I can walk in the hood and talk that shit.
I'm about to kick you out the show.
I'm serious. I can code switch faster than anybody. I'm a whole soccer player over here. Let's not get twisted.
You said a whole soccer player.
I'm a whole soccer player over here.
Oh my
All
God.
right
So-
now.
A retired professional soccer player.
But we'll get on the basketball court and put it to you too. So this is my thing. What makes a dude? What is this attraction to it? What is it, cornrow? What is the attraction to a thug? I mean, do y'all expect them to be better in bed? Both of y'all said y'all like street dudes. What makes a dude a street dude?
I said
What?
I liked.
Okay,
clearly,
like
Well, what
That's
did
not
you like
what's
about
going
him?
on in my life right now.
I mean, is it the mystery of who he really is? He not doing because I did
I
see.
think it's the fact of women needing to feel safe. Like we're gonna be.
So you feel
good. Like,
safer
if
with a
something
thug?
happened, we're good.
You can't feel safe with a square.
You know what? The couple of dudes that I did have that were out there, but they were professional. Like you said, they wore two hats. I wasn't gonna marry them. I already knew that. So it's certain dudes, and I tell a lot of women, it's certain dudes. If you just want to f them. But if you want to marry them, don't f them. Don't screw them.
Well, I think but men think that way. And this is why we're having this conversation.
So wait a minute. So I need
Men
to go out.
have women in their minds that they will have sex with and won't marry. Just like women have men in their mind that they'll have sex with and ain't marriage material too.
But you know what? And then the thing about me, I'm really icky picky. So I don't like germs. I don't like cheaters, and I like exclusivity. So, like I said before, I date them all, but I wasn't screwing them all. I'll date somebody in the morning, somebody in the afternoon, and somebody in the evening.
I'm glad you said that, Queen, because
but I'm
when
not
it comes
screwing
to
them all,
dating,
and they enjoy taking me out.
You sure about
but
that?
that's dating.
What they was trying.
Yeah,
You say you,
that's dating, and I had every right to date until somebody said, "No, I'm taking you off the market," and it was
Which
not,
leads me to my
quick,
next
fast, and a hurry.
conversation. Lori Harvey. Everybody had something to say because they felt like Lori Harvey ran through Hollywood. She was dating Future. She was dating this person.
She was
She was
jogging.
dating that
She was
person.
jogging.
She was dating this person. I think the biggest myth about dating is when you're dating, you're sexually involved. You don't have to be
That
sexually
ain't true.
involved to be dating. And Lori Harvey did just what OG Miss Karen just said. She kept dating until she got it right. With
So
Michael B.
Lori
Jordan.
was not screwing. That's what you're saying.
You
Lori
said
was
what?
just dating. She was just going out to have some food on a yacht out in the ocean.
But did you hear what Future told Steve Harvey?
What? No, what he
Future
said?
said, tell Steve Harvey, I don't want her.
He said, "I don't want her."
So do you think that it's not okay to date multiple people at one time? Kiki.
Me personally, I don't date more than one person at a time because it's too much for me. Whether I'm sleeping with them at the time or not, that's just me. Most of my life I've heard, girl, you crazy because I this, that, and the third, but I never, I don't go off of peer pressure and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It works for me. And people say, well, that's why you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, I prefer to because I feel like if I like you enough, I'm dating you. So I want to get to know you exclusively. If it doesn't work, oh well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me personally. And I'm 48, going on 49, and I've been doing that all my life. So,
Shine, when it comes to dating, do you date one person at a time or do you date multiple people?
no, I date one person. I go out with
What
a
about
lot,
in
but
your
I
younger
date one
years?
person. It's like,
In your
if you,
prime?
huh?
What about in your prime?
Oh, in my prime. Oh, that's different.
Your younger years?
Yeah, you wanna explore.
Derek,
Ma'am.
now that you're over being a serial cheater,
Yeah.
is dating multiple people at one time okay? Or is it not?
Not at this stage in my life, but let's talk about the whole dating thing. Dating. I mean, come on, y'all. Once again, we all thinking old school. We got speed dating now, where people spin around tables, 10 tables, and say, "How you doing? My name is Bob."
Mm-hmm.
We got
they
dating
speed
sites.
dating,
People are
look, without
dating
being at a
multiple
table.
people, y'all. It's too many choices. It's not 1955 no more. It's really not. I'm serious. I just want to clearly make this clear in this session. everything we talking about is old school. Nowadays, people are not dating one person.
They not.
That doesn't mean that they having sex with multiple people, but they definitely not dating one when you're single.
I mean, but they have so many different things now:
And
social
that's
media, dating apps.
all of that.
They call it dragging.
They call it what, Sean?
Dragging.
Dragging.
I gotta ask my daughter that. I'm like, what is that? It's like they call it, man, kids. I be cutting their hair. Like, oh no, we ain't talking. I'm just dragging her. You know what the words mean?
I don't think if
How
you
derogatory.
are honest with somebody and say that you're not the only one, then you're being truthful. So that's not being a serial cheater or anything. You're telling the person what's up.
I think more people
So
want
if
to know
you're not my man, you're not my woman. So we friends and we like each other. So we just enjoy each other's company. But it don't necessarily lead into throwing down or anything like that.
But I think nowadays it's different because I never seen my grandmother, also known as Big Mama, with a man coming to the house for her, a man staying the night at her house, kissing her, hugging her, but she had friends.
Right. That you call uncles.
Right.
Oh yeah.
In all honesty, I never seen her in a compromising situation. And now that I'm older, I think like, dang, Big Mama went all them years without getting none.
Okay. You think so?
Because of what you thought.
She might
Yeah, that's
not
what you
got
thought.
none.
Well, and let me say this, I slept with her every night till I was probably 15 or 16. Right?
So you was cock blocking.
No, she got to go to school too. Don't
All
worry.
right.
She got to go to school too. Believe me, Big Mom and them got it in. Think about Big Mom and them nightgowns and them house coats. It was easy to pull up. It's easier than these.
Let's talk about that.
Shit girls
So
wearing
if
now.
Mr. Earl came over, I gotta stand up because this conversation good. I love y'all. Toast to y'all.
Mr. Earl came
Mr.
over.
Earl
You had to go
pulled up,
upstairs.
right?
Yeah.
Mr. Earl didn't pull up during business hours.
Mm.
And I say that because I think a lot of times we as women expose our children to some men in our lives too soon. If Mr. Earl was hitting it, I never saw Mr. Earl car unless Mr. Earl was coming over to bring some groceries or to pick up a coon that Big Mama might have cooked for him or a rabbit. You get what I'm saying? We just never saw her in a compromised situation. And so in other words, what I'm saying is her door wasn't a revolving door for men.
It was very respectful in those times.
We are in a time now where women, not just the young girls, because I'm not going to pick on my babies, because y'all know how I feel about my babies, but these old broads too, are allowing men to slide in and out all types of day, all types of night in front of their kids. The kids wake up in the morning, the man in the bed. One of my rules was my son could never see a Negro in my bed unless he was my man and we was living together or leaving my house. If you was coming through, you had to come through, and I guess it was a booty call because my son had to be asleep. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just couldn't pull up and be in my son's face, and my son wasn't going to be in your face. So do you think the dynamics has changed when it comes to lifting up a standard as far as introducing women and men, because there's some single fathers too, introducing their kids to who they're dating too soon?
I think, like I said before, Tyra, you got to have a vision statement and a mission statement, just like a business for yourself. So I've been married 21 years, November the 18th. And it only took him 36 hours to propose to me. And we got married 6 weeks later. And he been and he was true to himself. He's still the same person as just 21 years ago as today, but he seen something in me as a woman. And they do say a virtuous woman, or he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And I wasn't looking for him because he wasn't even my type. But he seen me, met me, and next thing you know, he took me off the market. And I was like, okay, but I don't regret it because I'm well taken care of.
And let me say this for the people that might just be
But that's a
tuning in.
rarity though, too.
Huh?
I have to say that it's a rarity also.
What you also have to say, because see, people will take your words. Not that you owe anybody explanation, but I'm just gonna say this. Because we live in a generation where they call us gold diggers and sap chasers. Before Karen met her husband, she was a boss woman, a boss babe, salon owner, out here getting it,
Yeah.
the fine lifestyle. She's always been the one. That's kind of where I get my swag from. Because she's a part of my village, right? Always fly, always dressed to the T. So I don't want people to think that, oh, yo, come up was this man. Because there's a lot of
Oh
women
no,
out
no,
here
no, no, no.
whose come up is a man.
He didn't even make as much money as I made, but he knew what to do with his money. And he is very frugal, but then liked to he liked to take care of me also. He never asked me to pay a bill. He never knew how much money I made until it was tax time.
But I don't pay bills neither. And I think, to each his own. And
I don't go
what
for the
works for
splitting
my
though.
household may not work for everybody else's household. And I always say that. Like I just said earlier, I don't borrow money. I don't pay bills. Now, what I do, if he real good, we go on trips. Because y'all know men don't plan trips. Y'all don't know how to do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't take the time out to plan vacations and stuff like that. So, but I think at some point, if a man is willing to honor you in that way, he had to see something in you to make him want to do those things for you. And let me say, when I met Hill, I was working 3 jobs, 2 part-time, 1 full-time, midnight, 10 at night to 6 in the morning. He used to get so mad because I couldn't talk to him on the phone that he offered me, if I quit my job, he would take over 1 salary. So I quit my job so we could talk on the phone. And so, hey, he wanted to talk to me. So I quit my job so we could talk on the phone. And it was just up from there. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to even that situation, I had a hard time with that because I was content. Like, no, I ain't about to quit my job. You got to catch me in between the 3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about you working at the Port of Baltimore and you working all these hours and you ain't got time to talk to me and let me whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. You know what I'm saying? But you want me to quit this job, and he did. He made sure everything that I needed, I had, right? However, when he met me, I was making more money than him. I had the 401k. Okay. I like seriously, and I think people forget that because they see me now and they feel like, well, what does she do? All of this, evidently. But I don't punch a 9 to 5. And even before we said I do, almost 20 years ago, when I asked him why did he want to marry me, this fool looked me in my eye and said, because one day you gonna be rich. And I was like, okay. Because what that said to me is he knows where I'm going. So if he know one day I'm going to be rich, he ain't going to do nothing to hinder it. And he going to help me along the way. And so it was cool with me. But I don't want us to think, or the listeners to think, that if there is a household and they have an agreement where they're splitting the bills 50-50, that something is wrong with that. Again, let me say, if that works for your household, then that works for your house. And that's just it. Now let's move to the next topic, because Wayne, you come from the hood. Did you ever think that you would be married one day?
Well, in all honesty, this is my second marriage.
Stop right there. And I ask you that because this is going to open the next conversation. Raise
Okay.
your hand if you've ever been divorced.
Oh.
Everybody, all of my guests have been divorced?
I thought I was coming out.
Really?
I thought I was coming out.
Hey, we all did a lot of dating.
Okay, now Wayne,
Okay.
go ahead and say what you was gonna say though, Wayne.
So I'm gonna go back to your question. Did I ever feel like from my first marriage, I never felt I was marriage material. See, I grew up in the era where my uncles was my influencers. I never called a man dad in my life. So my uncles taught me how to pimp, push, do it all in the streets. And that was my brain. That was how I was brought up. So when it was time to get serious in a relationship, I'm used to my uncles had me pimping girls. It was a disaster at that age, now that I think about it. But to speed this thing up, no, I never thought I'd be to anybody. And I take full responsibility from my first marriage because I did a whole lot of dumb stuff that I was taught. I didn't know how to break the cycle. I didn't even know I was that sick. I didn't know I was that traumatized from my childhood. And I jacked my first marriage off. I did, and like I said, I like to take full responsibility, not for her actions, but for mine. And I totally messed that first marriage up. So, to your question, but I never thought I'd even be married once, let alone twice.
So Wayne, let me ask you this. When you got divorced, because you said, like, when I first got married, I knew that it was a mistake. My first marriage, right? I knew it was a mistake. When you got married, how old were you? Wayne, how old were you when you got married the first time?
I was 31.
See, I was in my 20s. And I asked you that because I don't think I knew. First of all, I wasn't mature enough. That's one. Second of all, I didn't know who I was as a woman. That's two. Third of all, I just wasn't ready because marriage is major. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Derek, how long have you been divorced?
How long have I been divorced? About 10 years.
And how long were you married?
I was married for 16. We dated for 28, almost 30.
And was that transition hard for you?
It was very hard. It was very hard because everything changes. Not only did we grow apart, which kind of caused the separation and the divorce, but just the 30 years with the same person, and then everything changes. It was a rough time. I had a rough 10 years. I had a rough time. So,
Sean, how long were you married?
I was married for 6 years.
And was the transition hard for you?
Man, my story crazy because we still together. We just ain't married.
So wait a minute. So y'all got divorced?
Yeah, man, our story crazy. Yeah, wow. We still together.
Really?
I think the whole we married for about 6.5 years, and the total time not being like together about a year.
So let me ask you, because y'all know I believe in transparency, honesty and transparency. Now that you look back when y'all hit that breakdown, or y'all disconnected from each other, do you see now that it's things that you could have done differently as a husband?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's
a whole
dope,
lot.
Shine.
Absolutely.
Do you think that you're better now? Maybe I should call and ask her these questions. Do you think that you're better now?
I think so.
Is she there?
No, she not here.
Because I was going to do a Wendy Williams. Tell her to come here.
Yeah. Put her in the hot
She
seat.
not
What is
here.
the hot topic? What they call it?
Karen, how long was you married? Well, I can't hear Karen. Can y'all hear Karen?
No.
Karen, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Karen. Kiki, let me ask you, how long were you married?
8 year, 8 years.
Was it hard for you to transition from a marriage to a divorce?
No, I've always been wife material. I've always been a wife, so it wasn't hard for me.
Well, I'm asking because none of y'all felt like a failure.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No, no.
Well,
well,
I
at
didn't.
first, when I
If
first
you
got
felt
my
like a
divorce, I
failure, raise
did.
your hand.
ooh,
Yeah, when you're going through it. But
I felt like a failure when I went to court to get my divorce because I wanted what my parents had. You know what I mean?
right, exactly.
It was like how
Exactly.
y'all be married 50-something years. You know what I mean? I want what they got.
Exactly.
Now,
That's the truth.
Sean, that's a good conversation. See, this is why I ain't got notes. I told y'all we was flowing. So
That's the
let's
truth.
put a pin right there. Because y'all know I'm the queen of talking. I'm going to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, because I
When
ain't
you
get
make
there until years
statements
later.
like you wanted what your parents had,
Mm-hmm.
50
Absolutely.
some years, like my grandparents, they had 50 some years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Is it possible
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
obtain
it's
50 some
possible.
years in the 21st century with social media, with all of Pornhub, with OnlyFans and things of that nature? Is it easy to achieve?
No, it ain't easy, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
You gotta figure back then they didn't have all that. That's just some obstacles we gotta go through. Then they ain't had social media. They only had the girls they in their neighborhood or in their school.
That's right.
So it's
yeah.
like this is another obstacle. It's possible, and
It is
that's one of the reasons why like me and my wife like after divorce, we seen some shit is like okay, my chest was poked out or whatever, and I had to sit back and sit back and just like look, man, sit back and take a look at everything, and just I'm sorry, you know what I mean, and just man up. Cause
So
because I
let me
wanted what
ask
my
you
parents
this.
had. I wanted what my parents had, so it's like okay, I had to sit back. You know what I mean? I had to fall back and really find out what's really going on. You know what I mean? What's going on with, like far as me as a man, because I was
It's
working at a
definitely possible
waterfront
though.
then. I was working at a port then when I was going through them changes. And it's like I had to grow up because I was still outside. I was still outside for real, for real.
Well, here's the thing though, because I'm listening and I'm just commentating this conversation. I want y'all to talk about it. But is it fair to say, when we think about the seasoned generation, that they kind of turned a blind eye to the things that Granddaddy and Uncle Joe and them was doing? Like, and what I'm asking is, that's the generation, that's the silent generation. So if Granddaddy had another family on the side, wasn't nobody talking about Granddaddy other family on the side. However, today we ain't have side chicks is a problem. So when we talk about the longevity of what our parents and our grandparents had, is it fair to say that a lot of times Big Mama and Mama and them turned a blind eye to what Granddaddy and Daddy was doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. I got
Karen, we
cousins.
still can't hear
I
you.
got
Leave and come
cousins
back.
that's not from. I got outside cousins and family members that's. So yeah, and aunts and uncle they still together. So yeah, they turned the blind eye somewhere. Cause I got siblings.
You
Hey,
got
you my
siblings
cousin?
everywhere, Sean.
Yeah, I got some people.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Hey, not my papa. I got uncles. I got uncles. Hey.
But literally, this is the difference between the generations. And I think what we're seeing now in 2021 and going into 2022, that there is a generation of women who are so set on being a part of the feminine movement to where they're not willing to embrace or accept cheating. And it's a done deal for them. So when we think about divorce rates, it's easier to get divorced than what it is to stay and work through the trauma.
It's
Well,
it's
go ahead,
easy.
Derek, because I see your psychology degree spinning. I see it, Derek. Go ahead.
No, I mean it appears easier, but like you said, that we would love to achieve that relationship, that relationship. That's always been a relationship goal of mine as well. You know my parents, right? So, that is your goal, to find that person that, is your better half, or, that person you're going to spend the rest of your golden years with. So that, I mean, that's the goal. Find that person. So,
Well, I think we just have a generation that has did it their way on so many levels. Even when it comes to protesting and boycotting, they're not turning the cheeks. Like, you could tell the older generation to sit at the back of the bus, but if you tell this generation to sit at the back of the bus, they're gonna flip it over and set it on fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have a generation of women who are healing, you know what I'm saying, who are not allowing what we saw our mothers grow through. The shit that my mama took in relationships, I'm not taking. You know what I'm saying? And, you have and something else. You have a generation of women who are in therapy, because we going to therapy now. Our mamas and grandmamas and them, they believe in going into therapy, and what they believed is what goes on in this house stays in
stays
this
in this
house.
house.
And what has happened with that is it has become generational trauma. And it has stagnated some of us from being the best that we could be, because if I saw my mama getting her ass whooped every day, and I'm not saying this about my mama, and I have to say stuff because people take my words and run with it. I ain't never seen Bert get her ass whooped. Let's be clear about that. But I'm just hypothetically saying, if I saw my mother get her ass whooped every day and embrace a man who barely took care of us, why do I deserve better? Why shouldn't my man whip my ass and treat me the same way? And so I just think that this generation, we've done away with tradition, but we've also lifted the standard to do things differently. And it may look crazy to some people, but I think this generation is out here getting it when it comes to healing, going to therapy, calling out. And I just saw this on social media, calling out the molesters in the family. You get what I'm saying? Because for so long, we've had to hold on to family secrets. But not this generation. They look crazy. You know what I'm saying? They popping mollies and sipping lean. Not all of them. I'm just saying, they music is off the chain. I don't know. Lil Baby, Da Baby, Baby. I just don't know. But what I'm saying is there is a difference between our parents' generation and our generation. And yes, their marriages did last longer, but was it worth the turmoil and the pain and the hurt that they had to endure because they didn't have the resources that we have as women in the 21st century? Like my grandmother couldn't read or write. Her signature was an X. So her having 9 kids, was it so easy for her to leave a man who was cheating on her versus staying?
See, can
That's
I,
her situation.
Go
Every
ahead,
Well,
Wayne.
the
situation.
cheating part is the deal breaker for me. So if they want to cheat and get caught, they could be without me.
yeah, see, my big mama was the Rolling Stone. She used to get caught in the woods all the time. I mean, she had 10 kids, so I didn't grow up with uh, people exemplifying marriage. So
Right.
that aided to how I came up and felt like marriage is supposed to be. I was just gathering all the stuff that all the grown folks showed me, taught me, and I made my own disaster. So that's why it comes around to where I had to relearn life this second round, so I won't be that same. I didn't want to be that same person.
Mm-hmm.
Now my uncles and them, they chilling. They done made it out the game. They done made it out of drugs. They done made it out of prison. They done made it out of gang bang. They done made it. They sitting back, and now we left with the trauma that they put on us to figure all this stuff out. Because now they sitting back like, y'all just take your time, just stop doing this, stop doing that. How you stop when that's all you know? So
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm in therapy, so I can sustain. Once I start doing better, I had to continue to do better. See, it's one thing to get to a good part of your life, but it's another thing to sustain the goodness of your life. So I had a blockage. I kept,
Mm.
almost going back, like, no, this is the same thing that messed up me the first time. So, so these are the traumas that I learned from the mamas to, my mama to my uncles. Everybody showed me something and I made it my own, not even knowing as a kid that I was going to be messed up as a grown. It's like a little boy still walking around a grown man's body. So
Amen.
I'm in therapy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne, that's good.
That is good.
Anybody got something else they want to say before we go to the next topic at
That
hand?
is good. What I'll say is in regards to Big Mama and what she and the way relationships were, that was a good thing because even though it caused some generational things, it
Mhm.
made us understand foundation. As you can see by what Wayne said, when you have no foundation, you got to pull it from different places. You never know who you might get it from or how you might put it together. So they did that for a reason. Those relationships sustained through cheating, bad finances, uh, abuse, uh,
But it made
all
you
kinds.
what you are. It gave you
Yeah,
the answers. It
yeah,
showed it gave your uncles gave you all the answers, and you just put them
Can you hear
together
me?
yourself to how to
yeah.
live
We
it.
can hear you now.
Man, I made a
Okay.
lot of mistakes first.
I
Yeah.
look
What?
at my mother and God rest her soul, and I decided that I wasn't gonna live like that. I wasn't gonna live a life of arguing. I wasn't gonna
Mm.
live a life of he doing this and he doing that. And then I remember one time when she was getting ready to get a divorce, it was she had been with him 28 years, my stepfather. And she never let me live it down when I said, that's your fault. You was with somebody for 28 years and you weren't happy. I'm not gonna be. And I guess she always had like a little animosity towards me because I do it and I didn't do it. Is the screen on?
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, Karen, you was stuck, but
Can
go
you hear
ahead.
me?
Hmm.
You was stuck, but go ahead. Well, while we're waiting for Karen to get
Hello?
unstuck, let me say this. I just, I'm in
Okay.
therapy. I
Something went
believe in
on.
therapy. Life will sometimes
A little technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
You back, Karen?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, well finish what you were saying, then I'll make my comment.
No, I was just saying that, I looked at that and I chose, and I've seen uh women getting beat up and then going back to the guy and things like that. I always felt like I was a princess, a queen, and I was going to be treated the way I wanted to be treated, and high on the pedestal. So that's how I always moved when I
And
was
salute
with
to you for
anybody.
that. Salute to you for that, because, and I was just saying that I go to therapy because there's some things that I had to heal from and that I'm still healing from, right? And so I'm the chick or the queen whose mother and grandmother taught me how to take care of a man, right? I cook, I clean, I sex. I can be your wife, your girlfriend, and your mistress. I got a wig for everyone,
Amen. Me
right?
too.
And I love ordering lingerie, right? And Derek will laugh because Derek, remember when I used to have naked Saturdays? When I wouldn't let nobody to my house on Saturdays, because Saturdays is just where I'm gonna be in my house naked, me and my man, naked all day. Don't come and knock on my door. So I would always say, "Oh nope, it's naked Saturday. Hit me up tomorrow. Hit me up Friday, right?" And so I said all of that to say my mother and my grandmother and the women in my village and in my family made sure that I knew how to maintain and to take care of a man.
Mm-hmm.
However, my father neglected to teach me and to show me what it was that I was to expect from my man.
Man,
You get what I'm saying? And so for
Mm-hmm.
me, it made me look for love in all of the wrong places.
that
And
makes
it's a different type of healing when you got to look in the mirror and you got to ask yourself, why? Why you like this type of Negro? Why you be picking this type of Negro? Because it's something within. And so, Wayne, shout out to you for being in therapy. You
Absolutely.
know, and I ain't trying to do the HIPAA, but
no.
if you believe in therapy, raise your hand.
You need it.
And I like that because there is such a stigma within our community when it comes to mental health and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, you have a degree in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Expound on that a little bit for me.
I mean, therapy is we did it differently. Like we have barbers. God bless y'all, because at one point in our community, in our culture, that was our therapist. You could
Mm-hmm.
go there, you could let it out, and that's what therapy is about: getting those things that you need to get off your chest, and to hear and have someone listen honestly and openly, and maybe say something, maybe not, but you got to get it off. And that's, if you don't get those things off your chest and off your mind, off your heart, they follow you and hurt people. Hurt people. And that's what therapy is all about:
Mm-hmm.
releasing, understanding what happened, going back and being honest with yourself about what happened. Because that's the key. What
Yeah.
really happened? What did I really see? Or what really trauma, especially our community, we see? I mean, Baltimore and Flint. I'm on. I don't care what you've done. If you're from Baltimore, Flint, you've been through some sort of trauma.
That's
Mm-hmm.
You
right.
have to you have to be able to speak your truth, understand how you got to that space and how it affects you. And that's what therapy does. And a lot of people don't understand therapy is basically you being honest about the answers to those questions and moving forward from them, clearing your mind about them, getting closure.
Unpacking that closet.
Yep. Getting that closure that you never had about whatever it may be. That's the important thing. Once you get closure, you can move on. A lot of times that's what people absolutely need. If you don't get it, it becomes a problem.
Real problem, man. That's
I
good.
And we
love
just have to
therapy,
thank
and
God that
I
we
know.
survivors of whatever trauma or tragedy
Yes.
we done had in our life.
Yes,
And
Karen.
we are survivors.
Yes.
We are, and I said that because I have two. I have a queen and I have a king who both have lost children.
Mm.
Kiki's lost her son. Sean lost his beautiful daughter. And I
Sorry,
know
y'all.
that had to be a hard time for you guys. And it seems like I'm seeing it more and more on social media where my friends are losing their children and they're burying their children. And I want to know from the both of you, and Kiki, we just talked about this. How has it been trying to heal from such a travesty, such a calamity?
Me personally, I don't think you ever truly heal
Right.
Mm.
from anything as tragic as the murder of a child. So I don't think I'll ever truly heal until I take my last breath. Um, and I fight every second of the day, you know, and what's so unfortunate is grief is so disrespectful. I call it
Mm,
your enemy. It comes when it feel like it.
mm.
And some days you have to dig so deep you don't even have the strength to get up out the bed. But 5 years later, I can say I am much stronger than I was. But the pain, unfortunately, doesn't feel better. It's
Mm.
just that I've gotten strong enough to like deal with it a little more each day.
Sean, I know you to be a strong king. Like you're one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. I know I give you a hard time, but that's only because I love you. I give everybody I love a hard time, don't I, Derek?
Absolutely.
Okay, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't give you a hard time.
That's the truth.
However, watching you grow through this and just seeing you, because I know it's hard sometimes for men to be emotional. But it's some things in life, and I'm not a man, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's some things in life that just can kind of just take you there, right?
Mm-hmm.
How has it been for you, Sean, with accepting what is now your new norm and really dealing with your emotions as a man? Because men were taught not to cry.
Yeah, but it's hard. Like every day, I think about her. Every day I talk to her. You feel me? It's like I get up in the morning and say my prayers and everything, and talk to my daughter too. Like ain't nothing happened, but me going through it, you gotta find like an outlet. I go to the gym
Mm-hmm.
hard. You know what I mean, and you gotta find like losing a child. That's like one of the hardest thing in the world. I don't even know how to. I mean, if you ain't never done it, I can't explain that to you. You know,
Exactly.
Mm.
but
And I call it shine. I call it an anchor. I tell all my moms, I said, find that anchor that's going to keep you above water when you feel like
mhm,
you drowning.
right.
Mm.
So,
It's like many times I be in the gym. You think I'm sweating my ass off? I'm crying.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
I'm sitting in
Mm-hmm.
the sauna, and you think I'm sweating? I'm crying.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But
Mm.
I'm in my own space though. I'm comfortable with it. But it's
Well,
like you
and
said,
I
you.
think for me,
Mm,
and that's why I asked you the question, and thank you guys because I wrestle with even bringing that into the conversation. But
mm,
we're talking about everything that we deal with in life, and I'm sure someone out there is listening and they're being blessed by this. It was important for me to have this conversation with you, Sean, because like I said, in our communities, we call boys or men who cry punks, you know, and I honestly and personally feel that everybody has a right to cleanse their soul. That's what I call crying. Like I need to purge my soul. Like I have moments to where it's just me and God and I'm just boo-hooing because life has become so heavy for me, right?
Mhm.
And when it comes to the men within our families and within our communities, the first thing we tell little boys is stop crying and acting like a little girl. So let me ask the kings, is it okay for a man to cry?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can remember being told that coming up that men don't supposed to cry. You know, I just kept hearing it from different men. You know, so just looking like, man, I'm supposed to cry, but I felt like crying right then. I felt like crying anytime I get up and I go to the refrigerator. We ain't got nothing in the refrigerator, or I go in the cabinet. The only thing we got is generic peanut butter. We ain't got no bread, so I just, I felt like crying a whole lot of days, But when you get around your homeboys and all that, that was the thing. That was the stigma. Then you man don't supposed to cry, So it was probably one of the most foolish things our community could have put on us as black men.
And that's good. And I appreciate y'all honesty and transparency, because when I look at, y'all know I'm the only female in my crew and I kicks it. Like, I have all kings around me, 3 grandsons, a son, you know what I'm saying? And I think for me, I really want my son and my grandsons and even Hill to be whole. And so for me, whole looks like addressing the issues within. And if you got to purge your soul, then you got to purge your soul.
Yeah.
I understand that it's a lot that men go through. I understand that it's a lot that women go through. I didn't want this to be a battle of the sexes, but I wanted us to come together and get a better understanding, right? And I said that to say this. When we're younger, and especially within my family, and I can't speak for your families, there were only a few role models on marriage. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact that one of my goals was to raise my son to be husband material, because we spend so much time grooming our girls to be wives. But I understood that my son would one day be the head of his household. So it was just important to me to groom him as I would my daughter, right? And I don't think our community is teaching our sons and our grandsons how to be husbands while we're teaching our daughters how to be wives. Do y'all agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
I
Absolutely.
think
Like, who taught y'all how to be husbands?
I think a lot of the mentoring programs and things like that is really and taking boys and really talking to them and teaching them how to be a man and teaching them how to be uh, the right type of guy, upstanding guy, guys in the community. So I appreciate uh, even like Steve Harvey and a lot of the Wayne. I heard about you in the community. I never met you personally, but doing the haircuts and things like that. So
Yeah,
that's
because
just
Wayne dope. He do a lot in the community. Just as
yeah.
Derek is
So
dope, just as Sean is dope. So mentoring is really important. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's the heart of the community. That's the backbone. That's why the barbershop and the beauty salon shows were so important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying it, like, I don't care what nobody say. The beauty salon and the barbershop are pillars within the black community.
Yeah.
Because when I was out here single mama, I was able to take my son to the barbershop where he had a village and who
Mm-hmm.
would snatch him up if I needed them to. You get what I'm saying? As men. And so I just think, or Karen, even being younger and coming to the beauty salon, making dumbass decisions and doing dumb things, and y'all had to pull me up and be like, well, what you doing?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Those are important pillars within the community. And so for me, yes, mentoring is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mentoring is good. But I think what we have to realize is we have to make sure that our kids, we talked about Cardi B the last time on the beauty salon show. And we said Cardi out here getting it, right? She out here getting it. Meg Thee Stallion out here getting it. She just graduated college, about to open up a senior living, about to hire historical Black students to work for. Like, they out here getting it. They had a better business plan than some of the entertainers in the past. Okay, we get it. However, do we expect from Megan and Cardi to be our kids' idols or role models?
No, it's the community has to be the role models.
And I said that because you have people saying, "We're Cardi halfway naked, Meg always twerking. Y'all really want them to be y'all kids' role model?" No, you be your own kids' role model. Or connect your kid to a mentor who can be a role model. But never, ever, 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 ever should you want a celebrity to be your kid's role model, because what we see is what we see. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
That's true.
Steve Harvey can be crazy. I'm not saying he is. But what's going to happen if the news breaks tomorrow that Steve Harvey done whip Marjorie ass? What we going to be saying?
They gonna throw him to the wolves.
Who ass?
They gonna throw him to the wolves.
What's her name? Marjorie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So I said that to say, instead of us wanting people we don't know to be our kids' role models, maybe we should become our kids' role models.
Yeah, and you know what? Every person and every child, every female, male, and child that I come in contact with, I always like to leave an impact and let them know that I care about. I like to have conversations. So basically, when I'm in the salon, we talk, and I like the fact that I'm one-on-one in the salon with my clients, because we can talk and be open and honest, and they know it's not going nowhere but in my ears. And then we kind of shoot out some problem solve situations that's going on in their lives, my life, or whatever. And people just need people to care about them. That's the main thing. Everybody wants somebody to really, truly care about them.
And you're right, because even with Wayne, and I'm going to use Wayne as an example. So Wayne is my brother. We go way back. And he is also my second grandson's barber. When I had to find Bryson a barber, I was very intentional and strategic, because I understood that whoever chair my grandson sit in was going to be a major part of his life. So I literally had to go down the list, because I got a whole bunch of homeboys that's barbers. I got a brother that owns a barbershop, but he's old school now, so he's only open a couple of days. But I needed somebody who was time enough for Bryson and strong enough to handle Bryson's personality, right? And so I called Wayne. Wayne, my grandson needs a barber. I'm being very intentional with choosing you, because I know when he sits in your chair, there's going to be accountability. There's going to be mentoring, and you're going to make sure that he's good. And so it was very strategic for me to connect Wayne and Bryson together. And you would have thought that Bryson has known Wayne his whole life. He jumps in his pictures. He comes to the barbershop. He sits in the chair. He acts like he's 10. He doesn't move. And so, Wayne, I just wanted to say thank you. And Karen said it, for being you too, Derek, because you kings do a lot within the community. Your communities, Derek, you coach, you mentor, you give back. Wayne, you do back to school giveaways. You mentor, you give back. And so when we hear that there's no good fathers, and both of you are fathers, that there is a lack of Black fatherhood presentation within the community, I have a problem with that, because I know
that's a lie.
Fathers.
Yeah.
Wayne, go ahead and talk about that.
Fatherhood? Man. Well, I'm a dad. I'm a dad. Okay. So I got him all the way from 25 to 3. He's gonna be my last one. Gonna be 3 years old. So I got him in all generations. So y'all know I'll be young for quite some time now. I'll be young for a long time here. But all my children are blessings, although they wasn't planned. You know, I was a kid having kids. I was 17. You know, my mom was 16 when she had me. I was 17 when I had my first, and so on and so on. But you know, I went from a boy raising kids to a man raising kids now. So the transition that took place within me, I can only give God the credit for that because it was tremendous. I mean, I was supposed to have been wrote off a long time ago in this world, but here I am on the Tyra Hills show with fine people from Baltimore, and I'm thankful for that. But you know, fatherhood. You know, we have a lot of different groups going on in Flint. In particular, this one involved dad. I mean, he's changing the game. His name is Sean Hart. You guys can look him up on social media. I mean, he's changing the game. I mean, he bridging families back together. He got to where he got the organization from the friend of the court to where you can pay off your, you know, your child support debts. He got the male groups that he put together, and he got mediation periods where the mother and the father can start bridging somewhat of uh, a relationship for the child. I mean, he's building communities by building families, rebuilding families. Man, I mean, I just love this guy, man. I mean, he's really doing some awesome things. So I try to stay connected and learn from him and learn from different men that help me with fatherhood because I don't have all the answers. I've been there from day one for all my children, but have I messed up? Hell yes, you know, and I'm gonna be frank with that thing. And this is a learning process. But the biggest thing I could have did was been there for my children. I mean, put the time in, you know. Of course, you know, I went from not having money to having money, but that didn't matter anyway. If I wasn't there with my time, my kids wouldn't care how much money I had. I could have had $1
That's
or $1
right.
million. They wouldn't have cared about that. Daddy was there. My 25-year-old daughter still called me daddy. Let me take it back a little bit. Before I started having kids, I had a brother that I was responsible for when my stepfather passed away. I'm 12, 13 years old, a man in the house, and I got this 3-year-old brother. So I had to raise him like a son. Till this day, this boy 30, he's 31, 32. He would not call me brother. I mean, he would not call me by my first name. He never called me. He called me brother. We got our own little names now, but they always tried to make him call me by my first name. Call him this. Call him by his name. Why you? He would not do it because of the respect he had. Like I was like his daddy brother. Let's go past him. I had a niece that seen all the kids call me daddy and daddy. So when she got older, she started calling me daddy. They like, no, that's your uncle. She started calling me uncle daddy. They like, no, that's your uncle. When she just went from uncle daddy, just calling me
I
uncle now.
love it.
But, you know, because I was
Uncle Daddy.
always there. I was always there. So fatherhood is
But
very.
it takes a village.
It takes a
It does.
village. It
You
takes a village.
Uncle Daddy.
Yeah.
Like
It
you're
does.
That was
raising
some of the most
flowers,
precious
like
moments in
raising
my
love
life.
this
I ain't gonna
Uncle
lie.
Wayne.
I love when she used to call me that too. I used to eat it up. She got ice cream every time she called me Uncle Dad. Come on, girl, let me get you some ice cream. You know, it made me feel all fuzzy inside. You know, Uncle Daddy, like that was special. You know, so she older now, but we still look at each other. She still see me as that, and it's just a special thing. You know, fathers and dads, man, we are very important in the household. You know, for the ones
You
that
are
really
very important.
for the ones that's really there and there for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm. I think that shout out to my son Polo Don, HB the GOAT. That's HB the GOAT. Y'all make sure y'all go follow my baby on YouTube and give him a big thumbs up, as his older son would say, and download his music on all streaming platforms. I just gave you a plug. You're going to pay your mama for that. But, Derek, even when it comes to you and fighting for custody for your son, what would you tell that father out there that needs to file that paperwork to get that visitation or get that custody of their son.
It's worth it. You need to do all that you possibly
I'll
can
drink to
do
that.
to be a part of your children's life. Don't ever think that what you're doing is for naught. It's important. Fight. Don't let, any situation or any person believe that you can't do it, because you can. You absolutely can. It's possible. You just got to want to do it like anything else. So, for those out there to give up, like it does take a village, and we all out here trying, but that social stigma of their black fathers aren't, fathers. Oh, I know a ton of them. I know a lot of guys, and it is a situation now where there are more blended families, where you are the role model, you are the person they look at as the, what they would expect a father to act like or be like, or what they would, what they would want their parent maybe to be more like, or the parent that's not in their life, you'd be like. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's a gratifying thing being a father, and it's worth it. I mean,
well,
it
I'm
is
gonna tell
so
you what
worth
the
it.
beautiful thing is, and I want this generation to get it. And then we're gonna close the show. Can y'all believe we've been on for an hour and 33 minutes?
Man, I feel like
Y'all
it's
came
just
to
getting
talk
started.
about it tonight.
We just getting started.
We just get started. But what I would like to see more in the African American community, because the Caucasians have mastered it, is blending the families.
Yep, they have. Yeah,
We gotta learn how to put that whack shit to the side. Baby mama beef with the other baby mama, baby daddy beefing with the other baby
absolutely.
daddy, and blend the families for the sake of the kids. Let me tell y'all something. My sister Nina, father, who was like a father to me, rest in peace to Bobby. Bobby had other children with 2 other women. But why on Sundays was them and my mama's kids and they kids breaking bread together? This generation has to master that for the sake of the kids.
That's right.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. If we don't start blending our families, you're going to have siblings intertwining with each other sexually, because they not going to know that that's their sister or their brother.
Yeah.
Cousins intertwining sexually because they don't know that they're family.
That's right.
It would behoove us as adults to put all our petty shit to the side and stand in the gap and stand up for these children. Because at the end of every day, they're the only ones who matter. And so I'm all about the blended family. I got white friends who go on vacations
Together
with their ex-wives, their new wives, their kids, their ex-wives, new man or new woman.
Yeah.
And they have a good time.
Have a great time.
But not in our community.
It's all beef. Who's got the beef?
Well,
We
I'm
always
an
want to
advocate
fight
for black fathers to have a role model, a role in their children's lives. I know my son's mother tried to nix him out of the son's life. And I told her, I said, you done messed with the wrong family. And if you didn't want him to know that that was his baby, you should have never told him, because you don't know me. And I made sure that I told my, some young men are intimidated about the courts and the money that it costs when you got to get an attorney and things like that. I told him, I said, I got your back. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care what we got to do. But you gonna be, she ain't gonna have sole custody. And he gonna see you 3.5 days of the week. And he gonna spend the night.
That's right.
So
you gotta fight for your children.
You
I
have
think that's
to.
been
you're
the
not gonna
hardest
just be
part for
every
me.
other weekend dad
And
or
I'm not
nothing
really
like
gonna
that.
say a lot on this, but the hardest part for me is I come from a family where my grandmothers were hands-on. like literally. So that's the only type of nana that I know how to be. I got girlfriends who don't even rock with their grandkids. Like, like every blue moon, maybe. Like, I drive into Flint in a minute and pick Bryson up for the summer. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the only type of nana that I know how to be because my grandmothers were hands-on with me. And so I guess one of the things that this generation lacks is the understanding and the wisdom that it literally takes a village to raise children. You may not need your village now, but one day you're going to need that village. And it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So learn to not only just heal the families, but learn to blend the families because that village matters. And I'm a living witness. I would not be the woman that I am today without the Karen Rouse, without the Wayne Barber. Me and Wayne go way back. Wayne, I think elementary.
Man, yeah, me and Nina in the same class.
Right, projects. We lived in the project.
Yeah, Regency's Beirut babies. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know about the.
You know Beirut, Karen? Ooh.
Tebow Street.
Oh my God.
And but Wayne, you're such a dope part of my village because now you have my grandson in your arm.
Man.
And that's dope to me. Derek, you know how you feel about Bryson's father. And Babies and Iverson's father. That's your nephew. You've been the village. You even helped raise Hill. You get what I'm saying? And so that village is so important that it would behoove us this holiday season. Cut all the bullshit out. Be peaceful. Mend the broken areas. Because let me tell y'all something. Life is happening every day. And it's going to get realer out here in these streets. And you're going to need people around you that you can count on and depend on. Right? And so, guys, this has been a dope conversation. I don't know what else to say. Did we talk about it all?
Man.
We talked about it.
We talked about a lot of it.
I done lost 2 guests. I bet you their computers died.
They might have had
because it was a long conversation.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Listen.
Appreciate you too, Tyra. And, God bless you. And everybody live your best life and impact somebody else's life in a positive way.
Well, Karen, I'm glad that you said that because before we close out, I'm going to give each guest 1 minute to say something to the guests. And Karen, you're going to start it off. Then we're going to go to Wayne. Then we're going to go to Derek. And then I'm going to close out. Go ahead, Karen. What would you say?
I just said it.
Say it again.
All right. Impact someone else's life in a positive way. People need other people to care and talk about and care about them. Even if it's just in passing, it don't have to be long, but just love people because life is short.
That's dope. That's dope. Go ahead, Wayne the Barber.
And people don't care what you know until they know you care. So always make sure you're intentional about how you dealing with folks and how you dealing with clients. I'm just speaking from a barber's perspective right now, but as a person, people want to know that you really care. They don't care about what you know. So show that passion and that love to people intentionally.
I love you, Wayne. Dylan, hi, auntie baby. With your pretty self. You so pretty, Dylan. Derek done had a new. Dylan, how old are you? 4. Derek kids grown, 1 in college, and he decided to have another one 4 years ago.
Hey, look, I'm on that bandwagon. We should have a 3-year-old. Like I said, I got a 25-year-old. So hey, Derek, don't
when you said that, I'm like, we on the same plan.
Man, we can have play dates one day, man. I come to Baltimore, you come to Flint, bro.
He done been there a couple of times. He loves Flint.
I love Flint. I'm a Flintstone. Don't get it twisted.
I'm gonna make sure y'all connect. We gonna come into something.
Yeah. It was nice to meet you, Karen.
What would you say?
All right. I'm in the neighborhood. I'm right in Grand Blanc.
Well, we're gonna invite you to Flint.
Yeah, it's time to. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Love y'all.
Love you.
Somebody have a 1 year old?
Oh no.
Somebody have a 1 year old?
3-year-old,
nobody has a 1-year-old.
2-year-old.
You have.
Derek, what do you have to say to close out?
Oh yeah, Derek.
I would just say that, family matters, blended families matter. We just need to get together as a community. Shout out to Josh, Capable Streetwear, because the one motto that I've stuck with me is that we are capable. We're capable of making it through tremendous things, making things better. May it be a relationship, finance, coming up from nothing and being something. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yes.
We see successes in you, Tyra, and you, Wayne. We see successes in ourselves. We are capable of making things better. We just need to get together and speak our truths. Get that therapy that we need, because it's time really for our community to heal itself.
Absolutely.
And that's going to happen from within.
Man, thank you.
Well, with that being said, I just love you guys. Thank you so much for closing out my season finale. I am on a journey of healing. We fall down, but we get up. There is no perfect person, but what makes you a better person is when you're able to call out your own foulness. When you're able to really look into you and be like, no, I don't like this about me. I don't like this about me. I hate that I respond this way. And you begin to do the work and heal. You will still make mistakes, but baby, whenever you fall, you get back up. And I just went through something that has had me on my face for the last couple of weeks, and I'm so grateful for my village. I'm so grateful for my tribe, because the very moment when you think that you don't need nobody is when you really need somebody, right? And it's always good to grow through and to have someone to hold you up and to pray for you and to cover you. And if you don't have them type of friends, then you need to change your circle, right? And so I guess for me, I'm looking forward to 2022, because I don't do resolutions because they turn into resolutions. But what I can say is this. She's going to keep working on herself until she hits her full potential and rocks out in every area of her life that God has called for her to rock out in. And along the journey, I'm sure I'll make mistakes. I'm sure I'll stumble. But one thing about Tyra Hill is she always get back up and she finishes strong. So I want to give a toast to finishing 2021 strong. Millions didn't make it, but for some reason God kept us, because it's still something in you that the world needs. So count it all joy. Release all bitterness. F you, which means forgive you. It's time to forgive, to heal, and to be better, and no longer bitter. I love y'all. Shout out to a dope season 4 of the Queen's Wind Down season finale. I am your leading lady, Tyra Hill. It went down on the season finale of the Queen's Wind Down. Shout out to Wayne the Barber. Shout out to King Wayne the Barber, Queen Karen Ross, King Derek Debo Marcano, Queen Cynthia Collins, and King Sean Johnson. This is season 4. Say hello and goodbye to season 4 of the Queen's Wind Down. I will see y'all next year, 2022 fall season, for the 5th season of the Queen's Wind Down.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Meet everybody.
Good night, Karen. Good night, fans.
Good night.
I
Have
love
a good
y'all.
New
Bye,
Year.
Dylan.
Nice to meet y'all.
All right.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Good
y'all.
night, Wayne. Good night,
I love
Karen.
you, girl. Thank you again.
Love you.
All right, Derek. Nice to meet you, brother.